Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We are going to begin with Sergio Busquets. Of course, in a recent interview, Busquets talks about Zubimendi, Kimmich, Rodri, Frankie de Jong, Nico as his possible replacements. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about Messi, as manager Javi confirms that talks with Messi, he said there have been talks, and he says he is not worried about Messi's fit at Barca. So, guys, as we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Sergio Busquets appears to have played his final game for Barcelona, and he is set to leave Camp Nou when the season comes to an end. Speaking to Mundo Deportivo, the defensive midfielder has talked about Barcelona's search for a replacement. He notably praised the likes of Martin Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich, even raising the possibility of Nico getting an opportunity next season. Going by his word, he said, yes, I'm following him. I know there's a lot of talk about players, about Rodri as well. They are very good players and perhaps the ones that most match the DNA and the style that is wanted here in Barca, he said. Martin Zubimendi is indeed one of Xavi's top choices in his bid to replace Busquets in the long run. Barca, though, are likely to have a tough time going after the Spaniard, who is set to cost around 60 million euros. This has led to Barcelona searching for another alternative, including Joshua Kimmich. Busquets said, "It's a little different. It's German football, but in the end, you don't have to look for the exact same DNA." Busquets went on to talk about Nico, urging Barcelona to hand more chances to La Masia players. He said, "We also have players at home. We have Nico, who is on loan, and I think he's doing very well. You have to give opportunities to players from La Masia," Busquets said. "There are many conditions, and you have to give the opportunity to the people of the youth academy, and that economically, that you are not going to spend the price of a transfer today. I don't know if they are capable." Nico is currently playing straight for Valencia, but he is set to return to the Camp Nou following the end of his loan spell there. However, there are suggestions he could be loaned out again following a loan spell that has been pushed by injuries. When asked if Zubimendi, Rodri, and Nico are the closest possible options to replace him at Barca, Busquets responded, "I like all three of them a lot, and I have played with them in the national team. I've met with Zubimendi less. I've seen him less, but I've seen him in the under-21 because we have played against each other. I think those three are the closest." Finally, Busquets entertained the idea of Frankie de Jong playing at defensive midfield, but the veteran revealed that the Dutchman is more comfortable playing alongside a number 6. Busquets said, "De Jong can play there sporadically, but he feels more comfortable with someone by his side so that he can push forward without being so positional," Busquets said. Great words there from Busey. I think if Busquets himself can talk about those DMs, then those DMs must have the qualities. Of course, Barca have been linked with uncountable defensive midfielders as Busquets is set to leave the club. He played his last game yesterday, definitely against Mallorca, which ended 3-0 to our favor. What a way to end his career with a win at the Camp Nou, and I think that's why Xavi had to play his lineup was strong so that ensure that Barca should win that game. What a career this guy have had playing for Barca. What a career. And looking for a exact replacement for Busquets, we know that it is next to impossible. It's not easy. We know what Busquets have done. He's a legend in his own right. One of the best DMs that football have ever seen. When we talk about the best DMs in the world, Busquets will be mentioned, like it or not. And it is very, very sad that you can't cheat nature, by the way. And Busquets living here is because age is catching up with him. He cannot produce the levels that he usually did in the past, and things must change. Eras come and go. We're in a new era, and Busquets understands that. I love the fact that he was mature enough not to abide by what Xavi was insisting, because if Left to me, the way I see Javi is that kind of a person that if you say Busquets will stay even for 2 or 3 years, Javi will accept that yes, he wants him to stay. But Busquets decided that despite Javi pushing him to sign a new contract, he will leave. He thought that this is the right time for me to go, and he has decided that. And of course, Alba's own was also shocking last week when he also decided that he wants to end his career at Barca. It's enough. This will be his last season, despite his contract expiring next year. So Busquets talk about these players, but as of now, Barca have not decided. Zubimendi, who is the top choice for Xavi, nothing have been decided because Sociedad they are still very defiant about him to leave. The president of Sociedad came out yesterday saying that he will never sell Zubimendi to any club. So there's still a lot to be decided from now to the end of this season as to who will replace Busquets. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona are in hot pursuit of a certain Lionel Messi, who is set to become a free agent at the end of the season. The Argentine does not want to renew his contract with Paris Saint-Germain and wants to return to Barca. Joan Laporta and the board have been in talks with Leo over the last few months, with the president also apologizing to the player about his exit 2 seasons ago. There have been some doubts over Messi's fit at the club, though, as Barcelona already hosts of two right wingers in the form of Rafinha and Ousmane Dembele. Xavi has confirmed, though, that there would be no problem finding space for the club legend in the team. He said, Leo could play in various positions as a false nine, winger, interior, even much deeper, comping toward the final pass to make the final pass. Leo has become almost like a midfielder, Xavi said, and Leo has that ability in the final third, he said. Perhaps he has lost his explosiveness, but we also saw Messi was extraordinary in the World Cup. In the end, I think he still has years ahead of him at a high level. Today, there are not any doubts that he would help us a lot, he said. Xavi's side have built a reputation for themselves as one of the best pressing teams in Europe, and as such, there have been doubts regarding Messi's potential arrival, have included his lack of defensive intensity, Xavi said. With the team, now you cannot expect Dembele to contribute in the defense as much as Koundé. It would be compensated with players in the end. Work and obligations are the same for everyone, Xavi explained. He continued to say, and we have seen it with Lewandowski, world star, who has adapted very well to our high pressure style, to our pressure after losing possession, to our mid block, he said. Xavi affirmed that he was sure about Messi's return to Barca. He said, I am in charge of the football at this club. For me, there is no doubt that if Leo returns, he will help us. We do not have a Barca with a talent within reach of 2010, for example, and what would Messi bring to it? Talent, last pass, set pieces, goals in the final third. He is a difference maker, Xavi said. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.